I was on the board of directors of the union. I was the third vice president for 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
Close to 8 years. But way before when we first started, I'm going back to the beginning. Before the union, we were just we were the national farm workers.
Right over there for a minute.
Okay. We were the National Farm Workers Association. That was even before the service center. And so we were doing community service. Nothing about union, not then, not yet. Cesar had an idea that he was going to be organizing the community for about, he wanted at least 4 or 5 years, And then he's going to start talking about union. Anyway, it's the very beginning, the first, second year. But we started to have a little chapters all over the valley, Like we had a chapter in Madera, in Selma, in Morosi, and Cutler, little satellites, little chapters, we call them chapters. And then we were starting to move, And our services were very welcome because what we did, we provided services for the workers. Cesar thought that if you provide services, it's a way to organize them, to get them in. And so we would do like simple things, like help them with their income tax, simple form,
Yeah.
They didn't know how to. This is the way you do it. We help them do it. We'd go to. They had problems with the police. We would go out there and nothing else, interpret for them and see that they get justice. Or go to the high school when they kick somebody out. We want to see why. Was it just, the suspension? Those little things,
Yeah.
Or write a letter or fill a form. We called it the service center. And then I don't know where Cesar, because we're dealing here with poor people, all poor people. He found a place where he could get oil, I don't know, quarts of oil, I mean, an off-brand, I'm sure, whatever it was. But anyway, when you had to pay 13 cents for it, or 9 cents, I think it was 9 cents a quart, It was a good deal. I don't care what kind of oil it was, Because these people had some cars that used more oil than gas, Most of them, They were clunkers, so, old cars, they leaked it or whatever. Anyway, they used a lot of oil, and so he found this place where the members, they could buy it for, I think it was either 9 or 13 cents a quart, and it was very cheap. And so everybody liked that service. They loved that oil buying thing, They come and buy, 10 quarts at a time or whatever. And then he found a place where he could get some batteries. I'm sure they were rebuilt or whatever in Los Angeles. And he could turn around and sell those batteries for $9, And so things of that sort, And plus we were still doing the service, the community service. So people were very happy with it. And we had been doing that for about 2 years anyway. At that point he said, you know what, guys? We're starting to grow. So we know it or not, we're starting to grow. And you know that we don't have a symbol that identifies us, or we don't have a logo, or we don't have nothing. We're just the National Farm Workers Association, but they have to see it written down so they know who we are. We should have a logo. We need that. It's just like that. We're having a meeting. It turns out, Richard, you have to design something. Just like that, Design something, Yeah, because you're the artist in the family. Okay. So I'm the artist in the family. I'm supposed to design something. Like what? Do you have to give me an idea? What do you want? Well, something that shows power. Well, of course, the eagle. And then it came to mind. I'm gonna borrow the Mexican. The Mexican is a very proud eagle. It's on the cactus and then it has a serpent. Very ready to fight. So I like that eagle. It's very, very spunky. And so I got the eagle and took the serpent off, traced it, of course, copied it now. And instead of on a cactus, I put it on top of grapevines, which made sense as we were.
Oh, yeah, that'd be perfect.
And so I had this proud eagle on top of a grapevine without the serpent, but the Mexican eagle nevertheless. I thought it looked great. I took my time and did a great job in it. it turned out nice, and I put in a 8.5 by 11, whatever. And it looked great, you know. And I took it to them. Here I have a logo now. And everybody looked at it and says, that's very nice, you know. We like it and all that, but Cesar said, I was thinking more, Richard, anybody can reproduce, because this thing is going to be reproduced hundreds of thousands or millions of times, you know. We need something that almost anybody can reproduce. God, what I drew, you know, most people can't draw, you know.
Yeah, me included.
So maybe they could do it, but they would take him a long time. He wanted something that could be done fast. So I started thinking, well, God, you know, this changes my whole thing, you know. And so I said, well, most anybody can do straight lines and corners, you know. Anybody can draw a corner, anybody can do a straight line, you know. And so I came up with the idea of what you see here now, you know, of steps, and, you know, like everything was square, you know. That might work. So I went ahead and did it. But I had trouble. I did everything on top. But I had trouble with the bottom. First I put a couple of little feet on the eagle, you know.
Yeah.
And then I thought I brought it to them. They started laughing. Oh, the eagle's got chicken feet, you know. That's not it, you know. For sure, you know. But I knew I was on the right track. I knew it. Well, that's not it, you know. Chicken feet don't go, you know. So I took it back, and then I put a fantail on it. See here? Right here, I put a round thing, and like what I call a fantail, you know.
Yeah.
And it looked okay, you know. But then I brought it to them for approval. They look at it, well, it's nice, but, you know, everything is square, and straight lines and square corners and all that. And then you have this round thing on it, you know. It kind of throws it off. And okay, well, that's not it. I went back and said, but I knew it was close, you know. I knew that the upper part was being approved, you know. They liked the concept of what I had up here. And one day I was working on it every little spare minute I had.
Wow, what a time for my battery to die. This was a story being told by Richard Chavez, Cesar Chavez's brother, on how the symbol for the UFW was designed. Anyway, I'll have to finish the rest of it from memory, so please excuse me if I get it wrong. Richard said from this point he worked late into the night trying to come up with a symbol that would work. He got really frustrated and tired. He knew it had to be something simplistic. So before he went to bed that night, he drew a line at the bottom to remind him that he wanted something kind of linear. And so then from that point, you know, he got up the next morning and he looked down at it, and, you know, that right there might work, you know. And so he took it in and presented it towards the board. And the board liked it and accepted it. And that's how we have the symbol that we have for the UFW today. It's a great story, and I really thank you, Richard, for sharing it with us. This was at the Capitol after a long day of marching, where he was there to help support United Farm Workers for SB 104. And this was on June 23rd, 2011.